great honour and privilege to have my great friends Jeannie and Curt Bartholomew with me on Air Sports News. Hi guys.
Hey,
What's going on? How are you?
Oh, fine. It's been a while, eh?
It has.
Oh, yeah, a long time.
So where are you right now?
We're at home in Florida.
Okay. And tell me a bit how you've been coping with this COVID-19 crisis.
We've been working out like 10 times a day.
Yeah, I'm still recovering from shoulder surgery, so I'm able to just put a lot of time and focus into that. So it's been good.
You went to Belgium with Eric, didn't you?
Yep, sure did.
And how is it?
September.
Yeah, I went over there, got worked on by the best, so it's been going really good. I've been working really hard with physio and working with a nutritionist and stuff as well. Just doing everything I can to get as healed as quickly as I can.
Right. Is there any jumping at all going on down in Florida?
No, not really. Pretty much everybody's shut down.
There are a couple Cessna drop zones that are still sending loads I think in Jacksonville and kind of near Lake Wales maybe, but our home drop zone, Scott F. Sebastian, is not flying right now.
I've heard a few rumours this week of a few different drop zones throughout the world with some action going on.
I wish we could get some action.
So, since this started, what have you missed? What competitions have come and gone, or events for you?
So far, we've only missed the second FLCPA as of now. That was supposed to be like a week or two ago. It's on the 16th. We got the first FLCPA competition in of the year before everything shut down. That was in February.
And it was awesome. It was a huge comp.
Yeah.
A lot of competitors.
It was the biggest FLCPA ever. There was almost 75 people.
When did you take over this, Curt? Was it last year or the year before?
Yeah, the beginning of last year. So we got the league in January 2019. So we ran 5 comps last year, and then the one that happened this year so far.
All right. Now, for anybody watching from different air sports that are not quite familiar with canopy piloting events and how we compete, can you give us a quick rundown of the 3 different competitions that we have before freestyle?
Yeah, so we have speed, distance, and zone accuracy. So distance is measured from a given entry gate. We just have to touch the water somewhere before the entry gate. And then we're basically just going as far as we can. And we're measured to the first point of contact down the course. And obviously the measurement starts at that entry gate. Speed is we run through a 70-meter carving course. It's a 70-degree carving course as well. And there's 5 gates. And the entry gate trips a sensor. So it starts the time. We trip a sensor on the exit gate, the 5th gate, and that stops our time. Fastest time is the best, obviously. And then zone accuracy, we drag our foot through the water across 4 water gates. Then we pop up in the air, and there's a pea gravel pit, and there's a grid set up in there. And we're aiming for a 1 meter by 2 meter box. And depending on where we land, we get a different amount of points on the land.
And they're the traditional 3 disciplines. Now we also have freestyle, which you are the current world champion of.
Yeah, I just won in South Africa in November. We've only had a couple actual world title meets for that, so it was good. That was the first time I won in a world title meet in freestyle, so it was good.
And of course, we've got the Swoop Freestyle Championships as well, which have been going for a few years now.
Yeah, that's an amazing event. Jeannie's always done really well at those. So
I love the Swoop Freestyle events because we get to bring freestyle to, very large crowds in the middle of cities. And yeah, it's amazing exposure for us for the sport.
And what about the event of the shirt you're wearing now in Jeddah? Groundbreaking event, historic event.
Yeah, it was really amazing to be able to go and compete in Saudi Arabia and really inspire the females. I got 3rd place at that competition, so it was cool to be on the podium and inspire all the women out there where they're really fighting for their rights.
So as well as competing, guys, which is, in your heart, you have to make a living, of course, and you have to provide for yourselves, and you've got a great system of coaching going on with your team. Tell me a bit about your team.
So our team is Team Alter Ego Fast Tracks. I founded it. We're right at the 10-year anniversary now, actually. This kind of winter, it was the end of 2009, beginning of 2010 season. So we hit a pretty big milestone with that. But yeah, I started that from the ground up. And Jeannie got on the team within the first couple of months, and we built it up. And now in 10 years, the team has won 9 world titles. We just brought 2 new team members on, 2 Argentinian brothers, Marcos and Franco Darman. So we're excited to have them on the team. It's kind of a bummer that all the comps are getting canceled now. But yeah, I mean, we started it from the ground up, and it's been an amazing run, and it's really, really cool to be able to start something like that and turn it into one of the best teams that Canopy Pounding has ever seen. So we're really fortunate that we've had the opportunities that we've had, and we've had the people on the team that we've had, and everybody's worked really hard. So it's really, really amazing to be a part of it.
And I think this is our 3rd season as Alter Ego Fast Tracks.
Yeah.
So Alex came on the team,
yes.
And we kind of merged brands with Team Fast Tracks and Alter Ego and became Alter Ego Fast Tracks. And we've had 2 seasons already as teammates with Alex, and it's been super fun. We're all the best of friends. And so we're going into season number 3 and bringing the Darmans on. That makes us a 6-person team.
That's brilliant. And you put a lot of effort and time and thought into training and coaching new people in the sport how to fly parachutes. Traditionally in skydiving, we've put a lot of effort and a lot of time and a lot of thought and money into teaching people how to fall through the sky. But in the past, flying the parachute has been the one area which is lacked, and you've kind of took that bull by the horns, haven't you, and took control of that.
Yeah. I mean, when the team was created, it was created around having a coaching school from day one. So that was always the thought process as well. And most accidents happen under canopy for the average skydiver. It's on landing where people get hurt the most. So we have to coach to be able to fund our competition in our sport. So we're really fortunate that we just get paid to talk about parachutes. That's our passion. And the other awesome side of it is that we get to not only help people excel and have a lot of fun and see the progression and excitement in them, but keep them safe, and swooping in general is pretty dangerous, especially if you don't know how to get into it. So giving people a path to not only get them their skills and excel quickly, but safely. It's really dangerous when you're learning how to do it. But if with our program, they can do it in a much safer way with the guidance.
And one thing I really love about it is helping people to feel confident under canopy. Especially the women. We see a big loss with women in the sport where they end up quitting because they don't feel that confidence. They're scared. And with the courses, they build so much confidence and they gain so many skills that they want to stay in the sport, and they look forward to jumping and flying their parachutes, which is really cool.
Yeah, it really is. So, Jeannie and Curt, just as one question to throw out there to each of you, of all the medals, I can see them in the background there. First of all, with you, Jeannie, what event or what win or what podium place means the most to you right now?
Well, there's 2. Obviously, my podium in Jeddah was really awesome. That for me, can you get that? That for me was one of the biggest moments of my career, standing on that podium and looking out over that Arabian sunset and watching the flyboarders go crazy. That was my number 1 favorite moment in the sport. And the other one is my first win as a pro in Italy. That one for me, it was one of my most favorite drop zones in the entire world, skydive fly gang. And Curt had just dislocated his shoulder. So, no pressure on me, hold down that podium for the Bartholomews. But yeah, that one by far was, definitely my second favorite moment for sure.
And for you, Curt?
I would say my most memorable was my first world championship win. It was the Mondial in 2012. It was held in Dubai. You were the MC for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just remember, the reverse order for the last jump. And I knew I had enough of a lead. I just had to have a decent run, and there was over 100 competitors, and to this day it's still the biggest competition that canopy piloting has ever seen. There was like 106 competitors. Every single discipline was there competing at the same drop zone during that event, and it was an amazing event. They had so much stuff there. I mean, they had motocross bikes doing tricks and stuff. They had so much stuff for the crowd. There was a big crowd, and I was the last one in the airplane. Everybody else had exited, and I was just giving everybody a big gap, so I didn't have to worry about being behind people. And I just remember looking out the door, just me and the pilot in the plane for probably 20 seconds over the palm, I knew I was about to win a world championship. So it was such an incredible feeling, and you'd think you'd be nervous and freaking out or whatever, but it was just the most serene thing I've ever experienced, and it was awesome. Yeah, and I exited and went and won, and it was I'll never forget that moment.
I remember it like it was yesterday. Absolutely remember it. 2012, 8 years ago already. Now,
Yeah.
Jeannie and Curt, one thing which is a theme which is cropping up through all the air sports that we're speaking to right now, of course, is currency. People have got a long time on the ground. What would you say to any skydivers who are going to be getting back in a plane in the next couple of months for the first time in, quite a long layoff?
Yeah, you want to start?
I would say there's a lot of free seminars going online right now, trying to keep people current, giving a lot of great information. Seek out those seminars and keep yourself current in your mind so that when you get on that plane, you feel like you've never left. Any injuries that I've ever had in canopy piloting, I've always kept my mind fresh and kept myself thinking about the jumps and visualizing myself jumping. And I've never felt uncurrent. And there was a point in time where I went 3 months without jumping when I had a compression fracture in my back. And I felt fine getting on the plane and jumping again because I felt like I kept myself mentally current. So seek out those seminars. That's what I would say to jumpers out there right now.
And Curt, you're currently running a seminar for people to judge canopy piloting competitions.
Yeah, well, it's about the rules, especially for the newer competitors. There's a lot of rules, and if you sit down and read through the rules from either the USPA or the FAI, it's tedious. So nobody does that. So I'm holding it mostly from the competitor standpoint and what we need to know to go compete, because people just don't know. And I saw at the first meet this year, a bunch of the newer guys, they got bad scores or even zeros just by not knowing certain things when they could have done much better. So I figured with this time, we can use that to help educate people in that way. And, everybody's just sitting around, and it's going to be much easier to understand coming in almost like not layman's terms, but just from somebody who's done it a bunch, and it's not going to be the wording that's confusing and all these crazy little weird details. So, yeah.
Yeah, I'll make sure I tune in. Always great for the commentary to get a refresh as well and keep me current with the rules.
Yeah. I just hope I get them right.
What's the number one mistake people make in CP? Is it running out of the box, or what's the one thing that people tend not to understand and get wrong?
It's mostly just, I would say the biggest thing is not staying in the courses when they need to. It happens in both Zonac and distance, where they don't come to a stop before they exit the course, because it's just not something everyone really thinks about. And years ago, you didn't really have to stress out about that. You could either just kind of turn and walk out or slide out. It wasn't a big deal. But as the rules evolved and changed, everybody got better and it got more competitive, you know. So it's we saw it happen a couple of times in February.
Oh, good. Well, guys, it's been great to catch up with you. I hope you managed to get back in the air soon, and I can't wait to be commentating on Jeannie and Curt Bartholomew live from the skies.
We love it. Thank you for the opportunity, Regan.
Yeah, thanks for having us. It's great to see you.
Thank you very much, guys. Really appreciate it. Speak to you soon.
Take care.
Take it easy.